Well, good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. Believe it or not, it was a year ago today that BuzzFeed released the now infamous Trump dossier. And now a year later, they are being sued for defamation by the president's lawyer. Editor-in-chief Ben Smith of BuzzFeed News will join us later in the show to defend his decision to publish that dossier. But first tonight, President Trump has suggested, he did yesterday, that he's willing to sign any deal on DACA that Congress is able to hammer out. Well, an actual deal does at this point seem a long way off, but maybe getting a little closer. Today, House Republicans outlined a bill that would allow DACA beneficiaries to remain in the United States. Critically, though, it would deny them a path to citizenship. Democrats don't seem in favor of it. They know, of course, that amnesty for illegal immigrants is crucial to their own electoral strategy of importing a new class of voters from abroad. Democratic Congressman from Texas, Beto O'Rourke, represents the border city of El Paso. He's seeking the Democratic nomination to challenge Senator Ted Cruz this fall. O'Rourke has sponsored legislation that would provide illegal immigrants with taxpayer-funded health care and free legal assistance to fight deportation. Congressman O'Rourke joins us tonight. Congressman, thanks a lot for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So if you're watching at home, if you're a voter watching this debate, here you have the Republicans conceding that DACA recipients can stay in the country. They're not going to be deported. And you have Democrats responding by saying, no, that's not enough. We want to make sure that they can vote and bring their relatives over also. So can you understand how some people watching that might conclude that Democrats are spending more time and energy worrying about people here illegally than about American citizens?
I guess I don't make the connection, Tucker. I think that most Americans, most Texans, certainly those that I've listened to across the state, want to make sure that Dreamers can continue to remain and thrive in their communities. You have people like Saba Nafries, who I just met, who's a PhD student in mathematical biology in Texas Tech. She's a dreamer. You have people like Alonzo Guillen, who died trying to rescue his fellow Texans during the flooding after Harvey. He was a dreamer from Lufkin, Texas. I was in Booker, right, as Republican as it gets in Texas, and the people in Booker were concerned about Dreamers because they had just deported one of the honor roll students at Booker High School.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Just stop your speech really quick. There are a lot of good Dreamers for sure. There are also a lot of bad ones. More Dreamers have been busted for gang membership than have joined the military. I'm not, that's not an indictment of all people here under DACA. It's just, let's just get real. These are normal people, some good, some bad. They're not all valedictorians. But the question is, there are a lot of good American citizens as well. And can you see why, when the Democrats say we're not going to fund the government unless you allow these people to vote and bring their relatives with them, that maybe it suggests a priority that's out of sync with those of most people here? That's my only question.
Yeah, I guess I don't see that. I'll tell you, from my perspective in El Paso, Texas, the city that I represent, where I'm raising my 3 kids who are 11, 9, and 7, I want to make sure that our community continues to thrive. And one of the reasons that we are one of the safest cities in America every single year for the last 20 years is we are a city of immigrants, including Dreamers, who contribute to our success and our safety. And that benefit is spread out over everybody in my community throughout the state of Texas and to this country. So it's very good for America, not just for Dreamers, not just for their families. So I think most Americans see this as a net benefit.
Right. I just checked the school numbers in El Paso, the city that you're bragging about. And El Paso is a great city. But 39%, only 39% of graduating seniors from your schools are ready for college in math or English. It seems like maybe that's a bigger crisis than whether or not people here legally can bring their relatives from abroad. Wouldn't you think? I mean, again, priorities.
Yeah, I don't think working on these things is mutually exclusive. You'll find no one who's worked harder or done more, for example, for veterans in this country when it comes to mental health care access. That's a very sacred priority of mine. I've been able to make progress with Republican members on this issue. At the same time, I can advocate for the success of my community and our country at large by ensuring that those Dreamers stay here. By anyone's measure, there's extraordinary positive economic benefit to those Dreamers staying here, the jobs that are created, the dollars that are spent in this community.
I'm sorry, you don't have the numbers on that. You can't prove that.
I absolutely do.
You spend a lot of time on this question. You don't, actually, because this has been looked at a lot. And there's no evidence that bringing people who have lower than average educational attainment as they do into this country in a high-tech economy makes the rest of us richer. There's just not evidence for that.
Yeah, well, economists have looked at this, and it's measured not in the millions, but in the tens of billions of dollars to the positive that Dreamers bring to our economy.
So let me ask you this.
That's good for all of us.
I mean, a lot of these are minors. These are extrapolations and theoretical. I hope you'll concede that at least. But let me ask you this. Why is it good for Americans? Why should Americans pay for legal representation for people here illegally. You sneak in, taxpayers pay for your lawyer, you sponsored legislation that would allow that. How does that benefit Americans exactly?
I think it's keeping true to who we are. When you have asylum seekers from the most violent, brutal countries in the world, like El Salvador, who are young kids or young families, I want to make sure that they have every opportunity to apply for asylum in this country, knowing the laws, having an advocate, and aren't returned to a country where they face, in some cases, certain death.
But these are people, just to be clear, that came here illegally. They didn't come as refugees through one of our many programs to bring refugees here.
Very often they came as asylum seekers who presented themselves to Border Patrol agents at the border, to customs officers at the ports of entry. And
so then taxpayers are paying for them to fight American law in court? I mean, can you see why people would say...
Not to fight American law, actually to get right with American law, to make sure that they show up to their court hearings, to make sure that they follow our laws. I think again, that's in everyone's interest. But if you're concerned about security...
For us to pay for lawyers so they can fight deportation, that's somehow good for us. Why is it good for us to pay for the health care bills of people who snuck in here against our law? Why did you sponsor legislation that would have allowed that too?
It's good for people who are in our country, who are contributing to this country's success, to be safe, to be healthy, to be able to continue to contribute.
Did the law specify, did your bill specify it only applied to people who were benefiting our country? I don't think it did. I think it was anybody here illegally would get free health care at taxpayer expense. I'm sorry, with all respect, I'm confused by why we should pay for the health care of someone who broke our law to get here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't think you're reading the bill correctly.
I think I am.
And I think you're losing sight of the benefit that we gain by those who are contributing to our communities, our states, and our country's success.
Did that law specify that only people contributing to our country would get free health care, or did it also apply to, I don't know, gang members or vagrants? I think they were covered too, weren't they?
I think there's an interest in making sure that if someone is going to be sick, if someone needs help, that we deliver it in the most efficient, effective, cost-effective way possible.
So it's cost-effective to pay for the health care of people here.
Yeah, I mean, you can pay for it in the emergency room.
How about not paying for it at all?
Yeah. Well, then you can watch people die in your community and in your country.
I must be a mean person for not being in favor of it. Congressman, thank you for joining us.